welcome to Money Control. Today we are going to talk about the key timeline of Union Budget 2025 and the key terms that you need to know. Whether you're a financial expert or just someone curious about the big day, this video is packed with interesting facts, key terms and everything in between to get you ready for the big event. So first off, let's talk about the budget session timeline. The first part of the budget session runs from 31st of Jan to 13th of Feb, with President Draupadi Murmu giving the address on 31st of January and Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presenting the Union Budget 2025 on 1st of Feb. And interestingly, this is Sitharaman's 8th straight budget. Now let's get into some facts about India's budget history. Did you know that India's first budget was presented by R.K. Shanmugham Shetty in 1947? It was an interim budget covering only 7.5 months. It's hard to believe how far we have come since then. Interestingly, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman holds the record for the longest budget speech ever at 2.42 hours, which she delivered in 2020. That's over 2.5 hours of talking about the numbers and the policies. Now, speaking of traditions, did you know that in 1950, under Finance Minister John Mathew, the Union Budget was actually leaked during the printing process? As a result, the printing process was moved from Rashtrapati Bhavan to Minto Road. Later, in 1980, it found a new home in the North Block basement for added security. Also, until 1955, the Union Budget was only in English. Then in 1955 to 56, it was decided to present the budget in both English and Hindi. This was done by Finance Minister C.D. Deshmukh, and it's a tradition that continues to this day. Now that we know some interesting facts, let's break down some key terms you should be familiar with when the budget is presented. Union Budget 2025, the proposed expenditures and revenues of the federal government for the next fiscal year, which runs from 1st of April to 31st of March, are outlined in the Union Budget. An annual financial statement. Since 2019, the government's fiscal spending, income and economic policies are all included in the budget paper, also known as Bhai Khata. Firstly, let's understand the budget estimates. A budget estimate is the estimated amount of funds which are announced to be allocated to the specific ministry. This figure is also used to determine the usage and the cost estimated to be spent in the period. If we talk about the capital expenditure, another key term that you need to know then, the capex, is the total amount of the money that the government plans to use to boost the economy. Thirdly, you can understand what exactly the meaning and the word of cess is. This is an additional charge added to the income tax to fund objectives like healthcare and education. Let's also talk about the direct tax. Direct taxes are imposed on people and companies in the form of income tax and the corporate tax. While we talk about the disinvestment, a word that you must have encountered in most of the news headlines and the newspapers and in many of the press briefings. This is a process which the government carries out to sell its existing assets. Now let's also talk about the economic survey, another key term that you need to know. The economic survey is a document which sheds light on the country's performance in the financial year and paves the way for the upcoming budget. Another key term that you should know is fiscal deficit. This is the difference between the government's total spending and the total revenue, a crucial number for understanding the country's economic health. Fiscal policy, another key term that you should know. This is the government's way of managing the economy through taxation and spending. Now we have discussed about the key terms, let's also take a look at the indirect taxes, what exactly they are. These are the taxes that are imposed on goods and services like GST, VAT and custom duties. You must have also come across the term inflation. Inflation, this refers to the increase in the prices across the economy, which reduces the purchasing power of a common man. We have also heard about the new tax regime. Now you may ask, what exactly is new tax regime and the old tax regime that the Union Budget is going to use? Then The new tax regime, this one is all about the simplifying the income tax rates. It has 7 tax slabs but no deductions. If we talk about the old tax regime, then this system has 4 tax slabs and it offers tax deductions to reduce the taxable income. Another thing that you should know is rebate, a tax reduction that lowers the amount of tax you owe. Another key term that you should know is TCS, that is tax collected at the source. This is a tax that's collected by the seller at the time of sale. And finally, tax deduction, another term. These are the discounts on your taxable income, helping you reduce how much you pay. So now you're all set for the Budget 2025 presentation. Whether you are tracking it for personal interest or following it for work, these facts and terms will help you for sure. Let us also know in the comment section below which part of the budget you're most excited about. And don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more such updates. With that, it's a wrap. For more such updates, keep watching moneycontrol.com and please like, share and subscribe to Money Control's YouTube channel.